morning. It's the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. And folks, he won't admit it, but there are signs that Dale bought the Wilt Chamberlain warm-up jacket from the 1972 NBA Finals on Monday in auction for $90,000, like $89,000 or something like that. Surprised he's not wearing it, folks.
Well,
Dale Hellestrae's here.
I said I'd go to 100,000, Steve, and it came up a little short of that. So.
They valued it beforehand, 150 to 250,000.
Yeah.
I did this on the business show this morning, and you were cheapskate. You only went to 89,000.
That's all it took, and I'm happy with it. And I'll give it to you to keep in your little extra.
Yeah, I'll just throw it in my room
down there. Yeah.
The best part is, Dale, you would probably put this on and drown you even. Like, it'd just be so big on you.
7'1", big old Wilt Chamberlain.
A 19-year-old kid bought it at a Goodwill in Oregon for $3.07.
Oh, really?
Yeah, quite the turnaround in pricing. If you wanna argue that point there as well. Yes, Dale, how you doing today?
Well, I'm doing great. It's reporting day, Steve. I did this for a lot of years. Hated every one of them.
Now, were you one of the linemen because every year there's a lineman that shows up to camp with a roll of the toilet paper of their favorite because the hotel toilet paper sucks.
Hotel?
Or the dorm room for you guys.
Thank you.
Nowadays it's hotels.
Yeah.
Back then it was dorm rooms.
Yeah.
There's always some lineman that he'll have one bag of like clothes and then like 5 bags of, 48 rolls of toilet paper as he's walking.
That's what you remember about.
That's what I read. There's always some lineman walking in with rolls of toilet paper. Toilet paper here sucks. Got my toilet paper.
Now I will remember forever my first reporting day in Buffalo, New York, from a guy who didn't know where Buffalo was. Got on a plane. They took me there. I knew it was in New York. I didn't know Eastern, Western, Northern, Southern, whatever.
You didn't look at a map beforehand?
No, never did. I knew it was cold in Buffalo. I was smart enough to know that, except for, guess what? It's not cold in July.
No, it's hot and humid.
It's hot and humid. So as I'm checking into the dorm, 2 things I realized. The older guys were bringing in fans and portable air conditioning units.
No AC, I assume.
And I was looking at that and go, why do you need this? It's hot. It's cold in Buffalo. And they go, oh, no, it's pretty miserable, humid and all that. And it's summertime. And there's no air conditioning in the dorm.
Yeah.
So I slept in my own sweat for night after night for about 6 weeks and didn't make that mistake again.
And then you sweat on the field. And how much weight did you lose during training camp is the bigger question.
You know what? They feed you pretty good. But back then it was literally 6 weeks of 2-a-days, hitting, full pads.
So I imagine it was workout, nap, workout, sleep, workout, nap, right? Just for your recovery time.
And you got to remember back then, there were no roster limits. So my rookie year in Buffalo signed 150 guys.
Jeez.
Which
what was the roster limit? What was the limit for them when the season started?
Well, you had to get down.
That's what I mean.
100 guys got cut.
That's what I mean. And so you got down to 50 something, I imagine, right? Maybe 60, but okay.
And and so you get there in the morning, you get taped, go out to practice, come back, and you wouldn't take your tape off. Because you didn't want to get back in that line to get back to get taped in the afternoon.
So you're wearing that stuff all day long? That's terrible.
Yeah.
After sweating in it and stuff. Oh, I broke my wrist one time when I was in junior high school. I guess 9th grade or so. And just being in that cast all day long eventually drove me nuts. I couldn't imagine being taped up all tight and just sweating in it.
Yeah. Laying in your bed trying to take a 45-minute nap and.
Why are my fingers always purple? I can't figure it out.
Kind of crazy. But
so by the time you took the tape off, you probably had all the tape residue left over on your arm.
Well, no, you take it off your arm because you do that yourself. It was your ankles.
So that type.
Yeah, 150 guys getting their ankle taped. That took forever. And so.
Did you ever walk in and be like, "You're not making this team. Get out of here. I'm first."
I never did that. I'm sure there were some guys that did. I also remember back then you could haze a little bit. It wasn't
Yeah.
too bad, but made a lot of the rookies sing.
They still do the singing stuff and everything. They still do the rookie dinner where
Yeah.
they have to pay for dinner. Now they split it up. I've seen they split it now more so. So it's not one rookie having to pay a
right
$300,000 dinner bill. They'll have all the rookies going.
And I
on
still
it.
don't understand how they get. First of all, that's stupid. I understand. Hey, you get the 3-4 rookies that are there, and they take you out to dinner, and you order a couple drinks and some food and whatever.
Yeah, get to $300,000.
No, that's just stupid.
That's like when I was in the corporate world. I had a guy that worked for me, great guy. But every time I ordered lunch for guys, who have to work through lunch or whatever, he was like, buy the most expensive thing on the menu. I used to be like, when you go out to dinner, do you buy the most expensive thing on the menu? And he'd be like, no. I'm like, yeah, so why are you doing it now?
Because you're buying.
I know. It's same thing with that concept. When you go to the dinner, guys are ordering tomahawk steaks and everything that they'd never buy on their own.
Right.
And getting one to go. Can I get one to go too? But it is amazing how training camp reporting day has changed. Cardinals over at Wigwam Resort. If you don't know, that's where they are.
And they train at their facility.
Yeah.
We trained. It was interesting. We trained in Fredonia, New York, when I was in Buffalo.
That's what I was going to say. How close is that to Buffalo?
About an hour and a half south. A little small college, one of those small colleges in New York. Just a little town, not a whole lot going on there. Which is
they like that.
Yeah,
they like that because it's team building.
Yes, and then when I got traded to the Cowboys, we trained in Austin.
Back then you did. Now, of course, they go to luxurious California.
Yeah, stay in a hotel and all that. No, we were in a dorm in Austin at St. Edward's University.
Oh, wow.
South Austin.
Wow.
But stayed in a dorm again. But, I remember usually what I would do, because I wouldn't bring a car when I reported for camp in Dallas. I knew that I was going to make the team.
Yeah.
I would say of my 11 years there, 10 of the years, my second year there, because I didn't really go to training camp, my second year there, little unsure, but I would always just fly there. Troy always had an extra car or two, but I'd drive down with him because you don't need a car when you're at camp.
No, like you said, you're too exhausted to go do stuff.
And then amazing time when we pull into St. Ed University and there'd be 20 reporters around Troy's car, and somehow, some way, I never got into the frame.
Yeah, exactly. Dale, that's a guy that knows cameras intimately.
Hey, Dale, would you please get out of the way?
Yeah, I know angles to cut people out of things. Let's put it that way. It's not hard to do, Dale. I'll just tell you that. But yeah, Dale's like, Troy's like, man, you get out first, so they'll you can distract them.
Yeah. Didn't even realize.
Meanwhile, you're like, Troy, you get out first, so you distract them. Oh, that is hilarious. And they're like, Dale, Troy, normally you have a chauffeur. Why are you driving this gentleman around? Oh, that's hilarious. Dale's like, but. So what I would do is, if I were you, I would have gotten out of the car and then just been like, all right, guys, Troy's about to get out, but he says you have to talk to me for 5 minutes. And then just sit there. If they don't talk to you, then Troy just sits in the car, backs out.
It was the most ridiculous thing, but honestly, and when my first... whatever he wants to say, got cut, retired, whatever, and spent it back out here. It just blew my mind the difference between the flag, because that's back when the Cardinals were in Flagstaff.
Yes.
And the way the Cowboys ran things. The fact that every anchor, so like here would be Channel 12, Channel 10, Channel 5.
Back then, like Mark Curtis, those guys.
They would all go to Austin and do the sportscast from there for 6 weeks.
It's not just the TV guys. Every sports radio program is doing shows from there. Yeah. Repeatedly, like not just doing shows from there, though, like intimately involved with it, meaning they're close to the practice. Like 98.7 is going to be at the practices, but they're like on the second level, off to the side.
And they'll be, and then maybe it'll be the midday show or whatever.
No, if you listen to any Dallas radio, starting next week when they report, they will be at the stadium. Everybody in the side and stuff like that. Yeah, and here they take vacations now.
That's what I was going to say. Blew my mind because Mark Curtis was the lead sports guy. And
That's why I brought him up.
And I was getting involved with Channel 12 and Coop and all those guys. And Coop would be up there a lot.
Yeah. Well, he was he sent him out there.
But Curtis was the lead sports guy.
The anchor.
And he'd always take his vacation first 2 weeks in August. Yeah. And I'm like,
no, you do that.
You do that in Dallas, you're fired.
You do that in a lot of markets. Yeah. You're not. Like Green Bay, you're doing one thing for the next 9 months and talking that. And here I think most of the people take, unless you're a beat reporter or something like that, most people take my philosophy of preseason with the Cardinals. Who cares?
Yeah.
I'm not going to learn anything in this preseason. There's not big battles that you need to see out there.
But I mean, I'm even talking back in the 90s and early 2000s when there was contact, there was things at training camp, and all that. Nowadays, they have 10 pattern practices.
Now it's boring.
Yeah.
Now it's boring because they just stand there. And guys run unopposed. We see cornerbacks aren't even trying half the time. And that's why it's so spectacular when a guy makes a spectacular catch and somebody's covering him because it doesn't happen very often.
Well, and the other thing that I always remember is I tell people, you feel you're in the best shape you are going to be in all year. You feel good. Your body feels good. And you know the next morning, because we were in full pads first morning and we were hitting, that you were invariably going to jam a finger. Your foot was going to get stepped on.
Yeah.
And then that was going to carry on for the next, 7 months?
I mean, they're in such good shape now, Dale, that they're getting gun chargers up in Canada going into camp. That's how good a shape they are now coming in. But there you go, folks. Dale's recollection. Now, in Buffalo, like 2 people showed up for that training camp back then?
It was fairly, just for Buffalo, the Buffalo media covered us.
Well, of course. The mainstays, I said, the mainstays, even the Cardinals, the main guys are all out there covering them and stuff like that. But, Green Bay, those guys. People take vacation for Kansas City even before they were really good like they are now. People would take vacations and go because they were up in Wisconsin. I don't know if they still are. And they would take a week vacation just to go to training camp. They go to every practice and
you don't know how many people I met over my 11 years in Dallas who came to Austin for a week and that was their week vacation.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
that's nauseating.
You came down here?
But I can understand it, though, especially back then. You got access. When the Cardinals were at Flagstaff, players would just be walking. And they'd be talking to people and, interacting with fans up there and stuff. That's all gone now. Yeah. Now, they'll come to the side, like it's Cardinal Stadium. They'll come to the side for autographs and, reach up and do stuff. But back then, you could walk with them. Green Bay, of course, they ride those bikes.
Yeah, the kids.
The kids' bikes and everything. So you interact with the kids and stuff. Those are still live some places. But now it's all about exclusionary tactics, Dale.
Yeah.
And nowadays, so I can understand that back in the day, oh my God, let's go. I talk to Troy every preseason. Let's go talk to Troy and see how the season's going to go. Not Hellestrae. Let's talk to Troy. You could have just done that thing like the Broncos did for a while, their offensive linemen, where they just didn't speak to the media. So every time they were on like national television, it was just like a picture of them because they were like, they just decided as a group they weren't going to be media people.
They'd fine you if you got caught.
So like literally you'd have like the receivers being like, I went to Southern Methodist, and then it goes linemen as just pictures as they go through their names. I always thought that was cool. Just like that's good philosophy to have.
Yeah.
As you do that. So there you go, folks. Cardinals reporting today. Some memories from Dale. The old days of doing things.
It got to the point where I hated the smell of fresh cut grass
because your face was in it all the time.
Oh, it just reminded me of that's training camp.
Well, that's why. Well, I do have that question. You just brought me this one because as players get older, Brett Favre and those, they just don't want to go to camp. Like Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to be in camp this year, so they hold out just so they don't have to go to camp. Like instead of negotiating it or whatever, they're just like, yeah, we have a deal, but I'm not coming to camp, so I'm just going to stay away from it. So, like you learn to hate it after times. You don't want to be there because it's a grind or whatever.
Yeah.
What year did that hit you in the NFL?
My second year.
That's what I was gonna. Because first year you're just wide-eyed and trying to get your
everything's
feet
new.
underneath, and it's fast. I imagine, right? Like everything is fast as a rookie.
Well, the whole thing about that is you're used to, like, we used to have, I think, 8 days of two-a-days in high school back when I played Saguaro. And then at SMU, we had 2 weeks, like 10 days, and half of those were in pads. And then you get to the NFL, it's like, we have 5 weeks of two-a-days?
That's the thing. It's like training camp in baseball. We're like by the last 2 weeks of spring training, you see the veterans just be like, "Can we start the season now, please?"
It was absolutely crazy.
So that's an interesting question. Just when you were like every year, you're like, "Oh, I have to go do this again."
But and I was part of that '90s to where, when Jimmy was there, it was full bore every 2-a-days every day, and we always go 2 practice one day, 2 practice the next day, then 1 afternoon. Well, the afternoon, that was your vacation. You got a morning off.
Yeah.
But the afternoon practice was like 1.5 times.
I was going to say, it was harder. It was like game speed. That's so great. That's so great. How to do it. Especially like as your career went on, this is another question I just popped in my mind. As your career went on and you were just a long snapper, where the only threat of you going in as a lineman was like injuries, right? And you'd have to go in. What'd you do all training camp? You just snap balls on the sideline to the punters or into the net or what?
Well, I'd realized I'd arrived probably 94, 95 when I broke the tip of my thumb. Okay, so as an offensive lineman, you could wrap that up and you can still practice and play. And our trainer goes, "I think this will keep you out for about 4 weeks." And they put a little teeny splint on my thumb. And I went, "You got to make that more of a cast."
Exactly. Yeah, like that needs to be like out to here, those club ones.
I can't just walk in to the meeting room with this little thing on the end of my thumb and go, "Oh, you're missing 4 weeks."
Dale walks in and he's got to have like one of those wheelie carts with his arm on it. It's so big. Yeah, that's hilarious. But I mean, I used to watch, like, just to give you an idea here, like I used to go to Cardinals when Scott Player was the punter.
Well, don't compare us to.
No. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. Maybe I am. Maybe I am. But I mean, I just watch him, and he just stand on the sideline, going through warm-ups, and he just throw the ball on the ground and bounce back up to him. That's all he did until he was called to go out there. But what I'm getting at is you got specialized the longer you were in the NFL and stuff like that. Did you go in as a lineman during training camp, or was it just strictly on the side?
No, see, that's what a whole lot of people don't understand is back in the 80s, 90s. When I reported to Buffalo, I had left the last mini camp, and I said, "Hey, can I have a ball? Do you know I snapped?" They go, "Oh yeah, we know you snap. We'll get to that in training camp sometime." I'm like, "Okay."
It's like week 3, and they're like, "Yeah, maybe you should practice that."
you have to make it as a position player, and then snapping's in addition. And then as you got into the 90s, all of a sudden we didn't have a special teams coach my first 2 years in the league.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Isn't
that amazing?
It's our running backs coach was the punt team coach. And defensive line coach was the punt return coach.
It wasn't a third of the game back then.
No, it was not. But as time went on, and then my offensive line coach, Hudson Houck, and I became close, and about 96 or so, I was always a 6th offensive lineman. So one of my values was I could play center or guard.
Okay. And right and left side, or just one side? Okay.
Right. And then they dress a backup tackle.
Mm-hmm.
So they could dress 7 offensive linemen and have their snapper taken care of, which allowed them to now suit up another wide receiver or another DB or another. And I know a lot of people don't think that's a big deal, but NFL coaches, they think it is a big deal.
Options, absolutely.
Yeah, and so that always did that. But about 95, 96, Hudson Houck and I were talking in training camp. He goes, "Dale, you're as good as you're going to get. You're 35 years old.
That's my point, yeah.
You're gonna get us through the second half of a game if somebody goes down. Just go snap to a 7-on-7 when we're doing 1-on-1 pass blocking." And
well, I mean, dare I say, at that age, all you're going to do is wear yourself down in training camp.
Not me. I was in great shape, Steve. That wasn't your typical 36, 37, 38-year-old.
Ethan goes, I never order the most expensive thing on the menu, so wow, that hit a nerve. Ethan thought I was talking about him there.
Yeah, that responded quickly.
Wasn't talking about you, Ethan. Somebody else. His name was Brian.
Wow,
Give a
see,
shout out to
you
Brian.
never forget anything,
Brian.
do you?
Yeah, no.
Because
no.
Brian was a B-R-Y or
you-
B-R-I?
You know what the best part about that is? There's a lot of people. Like I'll run into people every once in a while. They'll be like, "Oh my God, Steve," because I worked with them like 20 years ago, and I'm just like, dude, okay, no idea what your name is. Me and my daughter ran into this guy that was one of my better customers for a lot of years, and I was friends with him. We ran into him at a grocery store a few months ago. I can't. To this day, there will be times I'm just like, what was that guy's name? It still won't come to me. Still won't come to me. And then, but I remember guys like Brian who just order the most expensive thing on the menu all the time.
Well,
I'll get the shrimp scampi. What do you get when you go there? Oh, I just get spaghetti and meatballs.
Wow. Like it happened yesterday to Steve.
It does. Man, listening to John Holmberg's State Farm, I texted him today, and he read it online. Didn't say it was me, though, but I texted him today, and I was like, John, dude, they don't care. I know what you're doing. I know you're upset about it. Your threats don't matter to them. Like, I told him, I go, man, I have over 20 policies with them, and they just didn't care. They've lost 5 of them since my incident with them. Didn't blink an eye. They don't care. They don't care at all. That you filed a complaint with the Division of Insurance. They don't care. Even if you get a payment on it, they're just going to write it off. It doesn't matter to them. They just don't care. They just don't care. So, whatever. But it was just funny how I do that. But I'm getting PTSD. I got to stop listening to him in the morning. I'm getting PTSD.
Yeah, it's starting to bring back some memories.
Man, I'm like driving in just like angry, stressed out. My shoulders feel like they got big things on it. So basically what I'm saying, Dale, is if I make this about me here, is I know what it feels like for you going to training camp.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Driving in this morning. You're all just driving in thinking about all the reporting times and pulling in and parking and walking into the thing. And then I was driving in this day, reliving my 2025 State Farm nightmare that I had to go through with the car and then another roof situation and all that stuff. So I know how you feel today, Dale.
I almost exactly the same, Steve.
Not much different.
No.
Not much different.
It's funny when you mention not remember people because a buddy of mine and I met at Zips last night to catch up and a kid, 25-ish.
But you was a kid when you knew him. So.
He comes up to me and says, "Hey, Coach, how are you?" I'm like, "I'm good." He goes, "You coached me at SCA back in 2014." I'm like,
"That was 12 years ago."
Yes. Hey, it's really good to see you. Thanks for coming up and saying hello. And
do you do the thing where you go, "Hey, what was your name?"
No, I did. And I did. I think I did. I said, "I'm sorry. What was your name?" And he said it was Reed something. I already forgot. But
Reed's watching this today, going,
yeah.
"Oh
no." I always remember the guys who played for me. Like if you were good.
Well, I mean, I recognize people all the time. Even if I have no memory, I'll recognize them. Be like, he looks familiar. But it doesn't mean you remember the name.
Well, if it's a good customer, Steve.
Oh yeah, this dude.
If it's a good customer,
these guys were like friends.
I mean, you got to be going, "Hey Joe, how are you, man? Long time no see."
Dale, every week or two, I'll just be like sitting there doing nothing. I'll be like, "God damn it, what's his name?"
And you're not gonna go back to
Dale, I can't even conjure up what I think his name is. But man, I recognized him instantly in that grocery store and knew who I was talking to, know what company he works for, knew all of that stuff. The name just can't come to me.
And he spent money with you.
Oh yeah, tons of it.
Yeah. See, that's ridiculous. You're just not a people person.
That was 10, 15 years ago now, though. And 10 years ago now that I last dealt with him and stuff like that. Yeah, it was pretty funny, man. I was just like, whoa. The ones I remember most, I still on social media with, so I see their posts every once in a while. Then I'm like, oh, so then I always remember their names.
Tell me this: you said you listened to Holmberg.
Yep.
I still haven't gotten the story. We've texted back and forth. I don't want to go through. It sounds like it's a long story. He got his Broncos stolen.
No, he got okay. So that's how he's phrasing it. I know he's doing the radio thing.
Okay.
So what happened was he got in a car accident, and so they tow your car away when you get in a car accident. And the city of Phoenix is where I think it happened. But wherever you get in an accident, they tow it to a lot.
Okay.
You call your insurance company, you report it. The insurance company gets the police report, finds out where it's at, and then they say, where do you want us to take it to? And then they, in theory, tow it to where you want it to go.
To your body
Mine
shop.
was Classic Collision,
Joe.
Queen Creek. And if you've been around a long time, you know how that ended up for me. Just joke of a system. Now, it's not, in my case, it wasn't all State Farm, but it was a lot of it was State
But you
Farm.
said send it to Joe.
I did. Well, I said send it to Classic. This is before I knew who Joe was, because they took care of me on other cars.
Okay.
So that's what you do. And then you just kind of like wash your hands of it and it gets done. Well, apparently they didn't deliver his car. And State Farm's calling him, asking him, like, where do you know where your car's at?
Why am I keeping track of where my car is?
Yeah, it's your job.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So he's saying they stole the car. A tow company picked it up from the lot it was at, was supposed to deliver it to his good body shop. I'll give him a plug to Orlando Body Shop, which I got to become my body shop now, apparently. Because again, folks, do what you want to do.
Oh.
The Classic Collision.
But you said just the one, right?
Just Queen Creek. The Chandler location took care of me afterwards.
Okay.
Absolutely took care of me. But at the same time, you support Chandler, you're supporting them all. Right?
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. But anyway. So his car's just sitting like in this tow lot. And State Farm didn't know where it was. And he's able to track it because his car's got the trackers on it. So he was able to track it, see where it was at and stuff like that. So it wasn't stolen. Somebody took it where they shouldn't have. And then what he found out yesterday, the reason why you didn't do the sports podcast, and I had a feeling this was the case, was he was going to go pick up his truck and get his own tow truck and go pick it up. Well, you owe fees at where it's at right now. Right? No tow yard's just going to release it.
That's what insurance is supposed to take care of.
Yeah. But then John does that whole thing that he was talking about this morning, because I did it too. I found out the scam of working with insurance companies in my process. So they shouldn't have the car there. There should be no fees because it shouldn't even be there.
Right.
But State Farm's stance is no, we'll just pay him. To State Farm, it's a rounding error.
Right.
They're not going to miss $1,000 in storage fees. They could care less.
Right.
So, but in your mind, you're going, that's a ripoff. I wouldn't pay him. Don't pay him, whatever. But State Farm doesn't care. Let's just end this headache. We'll send the $1,000. Who cares? And we'll get it towed out of there. So that's what he had to deal with yesterday, was he got there and they wouldn't release his car and stuff like that. So stolen, tough words. And I get it. Maybe he's doing it for radio effect or whatever, because that's what we do. I get it and everything. But I don't know if that's the case because I didn't get to speak to him yesterday because you guys didn't do your sports podcast. But I texted him this morning on the air because I don't know the show's email. So I just texted his phone. And I go, because I told him my story on the car. I didn't tell him the roof story where they wouldn't cover it and made up all these lies and stuff. But I said, State Farm, first of all, you're not the only one. And second of all, John, they don't care. Because he's like, they're going to owe me. I'm going to go after $1 million fee. I want $1 million from them. I want them to make it right. They don't care if you leave, man. I have 20-something policies with them. I moved 5 to show them. They don't even give a crap. They don't even know they're gone. They could care less.
Right.
So I texted him that this morning. Like, just, Don, they don't care. Just get your car to where it needs to go. Get it done. Move on with your life. Because your alternative, and I told him this, your alternative is this. So I filed a complaint with the Division of Insurance. I was asked to do that by a lawyer who I talked to. Because the State Farm knows 2 things. One, you're either going to stop shopping with them, and they don't care. They just don't care. They make billions of dollars a year. They're not going to miss your $200 or whatever your car insurance payment is.
Right.
Number 1. And number 2, they know you're not going to do anything about it. If they lose in the Division of Insurance, they're just going to pay out the claim, and stuff like that. So, like, if they lose my roofing one where they wouldn't cover my roof when they should have, all they're going to end up doing is paying me my roof fee back years later. That's all they're going to do. They don't care.
Right.
They don't care about $20,000. That's to them. That's nothing.
They're busy naming stadium and stadium rights.
Yes. So then, literally, I was told at one point by somebody in State Farm, a higher up, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have to sue us to go anywhere with this. Basically, telling me we don't care, so sue us if you want to.
Right.
So then you got to go hire a lawyer, spend 20, 30, 40, 50 grand suing State Farm. If you win, and you win whatever your amount is, you have 50 grand in lawyer fees or something like that. It's not worth it. And they know it. That's why no state's going to go like, well, you treated Stephen McCollum like garbage, State Farm, so you're banned from the. If they get fined $1 million or $600 million, they don't care. They have that sitting in bank accounts. And they get to write it off at the end of the year. Anyway, but I'm getting PTSD listening to it, man. It is hilarious. It is hilarious listening to it. But to me, I don't know about John, but to me, the frustration was just the way they treat you when they talk. And he's experiencing that now. It was the same thing with Classic Collision. It was the same thing Autumn went through with her Hyundai dealership, where they just talk to you like you're the problem.
Right.
And it's like, you're the problem. Why are you making it sound like I'm the problem?
I don't know what this car needs done to it. You do.
Yes.
Do it, and you and the insurance company figure it out.
Like with Classic Collision, I go, State Farm sent you the paperwork. I hadn't seen the paperwork. And then Joe over there was like, well, you got to tell us what's wrong with it. I don't know. It was stolen. This is the first time I've seen this car in the last 8 months because you guys are bringing me through the ringer. Go get the paperwork, and then let me look at it, and we can have the discussion. Well, we're not getting the paperwork. You need to tell us what's wrong with it. I don't know. And then State Farm is the same way. Like, I'll never forget when I needed a key. Turns out Classic Collision could have gotten the key. They kept refusing. I found all that out later. I told you guys that story. But then State Farm's like, where do you want to get a key from? I don't know. Who makes Ford keys? Do we call a handyman? Do we go to Ace Hardware? And the guy's like, well, you have to tell us where you get a key at. I don't know. So finally I was like, is there a Ford dealership around that we could take it to? And that's how I ended up at Santan Ford that ended up screwing me over on that front too. They ended up screwing me over with the license plate. They were the license plate company where they told everybody and their dogs the car didn't have a license plate, so we couldn't drive it back to Classic Collision after we got the key. So Dale, I go to pick up the car. I think I told this before. I walk outside. The license. I go to the DMV and sit in line for like 2 hours to get a license plate. I get the license plate. I have to report the other one stolen. I get the new license plate. It's like a 2-hour long sitting in the DMV. I drive over to Santan Ford, walk in, get my keys, everything, whatever. Go out to the car, but literally get in the car, tape the license plate, the new license plate to the back window so I can drive it 10 miles to the Classic Collision place. And I get out of taping it in the back window, walk to the front of the car, license plate sitting on the dash of the car. And Santan Ford's service people kept telling the insurance company, Classic Collision, me, there's no license plate on this car. We can't tow it. We can't drive it. There's no license plate on the car. And it's sitting in the freaking dash of the car for the whole world to see. It's Dale. And then they look at you like you're the one wrong. They literally look at you. The guy literally looked at me and goes, well, you must have misunderstood what he said because the license plate's right here. And you're just like, all 4 of us misunderstood what he said? Is that what you're telling me right now? They just look at you like you're the crazy one. And that's where you get infuriated by it. Just eat it, man. State Farm needs to just go. Literally, they just need to go, hey, yeah, man, we need to get your car to the shop. We need to fix this. Let us work on it, and we'll follow up with you. That's all they got to do.
Yep.
But they don't do that. They called him and literally, when he said that the guy called him and said, do you know where your car is? And he's like, no, do you? And the guy's like, are you sure you don't know?
Yeah.
He's like, I've never been so mad at him. I'm like, yeah, it's infuriating. Well, you guys know what I went through on that car. That was ridiculous. It took 9 months to get that car fixed because of everything I went through. And it wasn't all State Farm. It was Classic Collision and Santan Ford. It was the tow companies. My car went from the border up here to Phoenix, back down to the border, up to Tucson, up here to Phoenix, back down to Tucson. And they're paying the fee. That's what I'm saying. State Farm doesn't care because they were literally just paying the storage fees and the towing fees every time everything was being screwed up in the process. Like, it was like thousands of dollars. And I'm just like, they obviously don't care about it. I'd be freaking out if I was spending this kind of money. State Farm's like, whatever. But I'm getting PTSD PTSD.
I was going to
from
say,
that.
you know what? I think that maybe we won't bring that up again because you're right back. It's like you're in the
Oh, no.
middle of it.
Driving in yesterday and today, man.
Yeah.
Yesterday at one point, like halfway, he was like in the middle of a sentence, and I just went bloop and turned stations because I noticed I was like gripping the steering wheel harder.
I know this feeling.
So today I switched over to the 98.7 boys. I was like, they're less infuriating than State Farm. Let's go listen to that. Oh my goodness. But it is hilarious. It's an amazing thing to deal with. That's all I can say.
It's so funny because I've been in one accident my entire life.
Yeah.
And it was a weird accident to where it's 2 left-hand turn lanes. I'm on the inside one. So you waited for an arrow comes on, we start to go, and I'm always aware of my surroundings. Yeah. And I've taken pride in that. And all of a sudden this car outside of me guns it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why until I see a red flash, and there's a red truck coming at me at 55 miles an hour and hits me front right.
Yeah.
And
isn't that a great feeling?
And basically almost totals my car, but in the meantime, I didn't have my seatbelt on. Because I've always said I'm too big to get thrown out the car because the steering wheel's going to stop me.
Physics don't care how big you are, Dale.
But I went up,
yeah.
And I kept my garage door opener on the.
Did you have the indention on your head?
No, I had a 7 staple gash on my head, so I'm bleeding.
Yeah.
I'm
only laughing because he's safe.
I can't open the door because my car got hit front right, and it kind of the frame got wrapped around. And so I'm trying to get out. I'm kind of aware of what's going on. Then I'm feeling stuff running down my face.
You were concussed. You had no idea what was happening.
And I look and I see I have one napkin in the car. I don't have any towels or anything. I'm trying to keep my eyes.
Tail's flicking blood everywhere.
But they towed it away and whatever, and made me go to the hospital and get my staples and all that. But they took care of it.
Yeah. Back in the day,
bang, boom.
Back in the day, I don't have that. This you get infuriated though, and this is what John's dealing with. It's like I've been with State Farm since I was like 22, and then they had all my house policies and stuff like that. Right. Every once in a while, I'd have a claim. Like it was like 5 claims in like 30 years. You know, right. It was like 20 years, whatever it is. You know, and you're just like, I don't make claims. There were times where I should run something through a claim. I was like, I'm just paying for it. I'm not dealing with the insurance. I'm just going to pay for it. But every time I dealt with them, it was good. Something changed, though, is what I'm getting at. Okay. Because then when I had a Toyota that got T-boned, and all of a sudden, I had fought harder with, I just got new tires like 2 days before, and they're like, well, your tires are old. And I'm like, I had to argue with them for weeks to get value out of my car. You know, the real value out of my car. They're like, you have a crack in your windshield. And I'm like, really? You think? I got T-boned. They're like, yeah, but the structure of the windshield was weak. And I'm like, so then you have to argue with them to get it. And that was the first time, you know, and now they're denying roof claims for you when a roof gets blown off because, you know, they're like, oh, you know, you fixed it in 2022. You must not have fixed it right. That's their claim on the roof claim. And I'm like, it's a light. We have houses where they've told us we got to replace the roofs because they flew a drone over it. And the roof's like 15 years old and they're 25-year shingles. And so I'm like, all right, so what do we need to do? And they're like, we'll replace it. And I'm like, well, I'm not replacing the roof. I'll move insurance companies before I do that. It's still good. Then they're like, well, get a qualified roofer to certify that roof's good for another 10 years. No problem. Call your roofer. Roofer goes out there, does a letter and said, this roof's good for another 15, 20 years. Send it to State Farm. They come back and go, no, you still need to replace the roof because it's a bad roof because they flew a drone over it. And I spent hours and days just arguing with it. And finally, I just went, all right, you guys don't want my business. Cool. Why don't you guys just tell me you don't want the business and I'll find somebody else. But I have this philosophy too. Don't beg people to take your money. If people start acting like that, just move it. So I let that insurance policy end and I just went and got a new insurance company, you know. It's like, this new insurance company's happy to have me. They gave them 5 new policies, you know, and stuff like that. They're hamming it up and high-fiving each other. Woo! At State Farm's like, yeah, we've had enough of you. But that's where you get pissed off is you've all these years.
Yeah.
I've done the right thing and just they get paid every month and I've spent tens of thousands of dollars with them. And then one claim, nope. Or you get this big runaround and you're just like, what? Like you feel like they owe you because they've just collected your money for 20 something years. And just what are you going to fight me for on this?
Right.
And that's where you get wrapped. And I've noticed that with Holmberg right now, too, as he's going through that. And I went through it last year, too. I went through it a couple times. And now I'm a wiser man because of it.
Well, I think you should take a break, take a deep breath, and let's get into the good news about your Arizona Cardinals.
I don't want to talk it. Let's go Diamondbacks first. Put Diamondbacks first.
A win's a win's a win, Steven.
Plus, the kid Bruce talked about yesterday that took the foul ball off his... What a tough son of a gun this guy is, we learned yesterday as well. We'll talk about it all. Come on back. Main event. The other thing that's going on around the show is Dale Hellestrae's really, really upset today.
What am I upset about, Steve?
Lionel Messi is going to miss the MLS All-Star game. He's in a 21-day rest period after the World Cup run that he went on there with Argentina. And Dale's just distraught about this, folks. I don't know. He keeps bringing it up during breaks.
He took the World Cup final off. He just stood there, kicked the ball 3 times. He started his 21-day rest period the day before.
Maybe it started on the 20th day.
Jeez,
so Dale's that's what I mean. Dale's all upset about it.
I ain't watching.
Is this akin to Marte just going to the Dominican after the Major League Baseball All-Star game?
Well, I think what I'm going to do is, if he's got his 21-day rest period, I got my 4-year rest period. I'll wait till the next World Cup.
Dale's traumatized about this, folks. We got to figure him out there as well. Yeah. We're going to talk baseball here, but I do want to mention this because I'll forget to when we come back to NFL. Obviously, talk. Excuse me. We got Jacoby. All I did was drink a swig of lemonade. Now all of a sudden I got the hiccups. The NFL revenue for 2025, $14.5 billion in revenue. The NFL. That's more than the NBA, MLB, and the National Hockey League combined made.
Pretty good, Steve.
Yeah, that's also why Michael Bidwell's moving all your seats out of the way, you longtime fans, and moving to premium seats. Because they make enough money without you. It goes to the same concept, if you want to be honest about it. He doesn't care if you're in his stadium or not. He's making money regardless if you're there or not. You can be a 50-year season ticket holder like Dale's brother, Mark. And they didn't care that he canceled his season tickets this year after, 89 or 86 to today. They didn't care. They're going to make money with it. They're probably going to make more money without him there. Yeah, $14.5 billion, Dale.
Yeah, whoever gets at those seats are probably going to spend more money in the stadium than my brother did.
Right, because they're going to be all excited.
Well,
souvenir.
he would drink
Food.
his beer
That's
out
what I'm
at
saying.
tailgate.
Food, drink, because we buy those box of nachos, we'll buy cookies and stuff, but because they're affordable. They're like $22, and everybody can eat the nachos. It's huge. But other than that, we don't really get anything there because it's too expensive. You
Yeah.
get a soda when you first go in, and then you get free refills. So it's like, all right, everybody get refills, at least one refill to pay for it. That type of stupid stuff that you do. But yeah, there you go. F them.
12.5 billion.
No, 14.5 billion.
14.5.
Yeah. Yep, Roger Goodell's negotiating for an extension. And what are you even negotiating about? Don't you just slide the revenue amount across the table to the NFL owners and go, "Here you go, guys. What I did for you."
Look what it was before I got here, and look at it now.
Like, what are you negotiating? Just other than, here you go, guys. Oh, and I want my private plane to continue while we're talking about it as well. Oh my God, it's hilarious from that side. But let's talk Diamondbacks first here. We'll wrap this up, this hour up, and probably roll it into the beginning of the next season, then NFL. I do have an NBA note for you, which I find hilarious as well coming up. But Diamondbacks got the win last night. 10th inning. Vargas, big hit there in the 10th, gets the winning runs across for the Athletics. There as well.
You mean for the Diamondbacks?
I mean for the Diamondbacks over the Athletics. So they're 1-1 against the Athletics. We are, now the All-Star break was in the middle of this, but we're 2 weeks since they let Pavin Smith go and Zach Gallen's been on the injured list. Maybe it's me and my bias about how much I hated this team with Pavin Smith on it and Zach Gallen pitching. Maybe it's my bias. But even yesterday when the Diamondbacks lost, there just seems to be a different feeling around this team since those two moves were made. And I'm seeing it every game. It's amazing. Maybe I'm alone, Dale. Am I alone in this? I've noticed, I'm going to call it a pep in their step now. Now, they made mistakes against the Cardinals. We know that and things. But they came back and responded for that, in that series. I'm not saying it's perfect. There's just something different about this team.
Well, it seems like, especially with this team, if it's not one thing, it's another. It's like, okay, well, yeah, I agree with you. It seems like a more energetic team, a more aggressive team. They seem to, I don't know, be freed up a little bit. I don't know what it is.
Looser would be the word I would use for that. Yeah, they're just like, oh, let's go.
Yeah. And, they jumped off to a lead yesterday, 3 runs in the first inning. I mean, that doesn't happen very often.
No, you're usually down by 3 runs in the first inning.
And then they have to come back and all that. So, yeah, I do agree with you. Now, is it all because of Pavin and whatever? But it's definitely coincided with it.
Yes. I want to be clear. I'm not putting the blame on Zach Gallen and Pavin Smith. But it's coinciding with it. And it's easy to correlate that. It's easy to correlate it, kind of a deal.
The guy that I feel bad for last night, Cole Drake, making his major league debut. Parents were there.
Yeah.
Goes 5 innings, gives up 1 run, and leaves with a lead.
Yeah, and doesn't get the win.
So when I'm talking about, if it's not one thing with this team, it seems to be another. Now all of a sudden, Seawald watch.
4 of his last 6 outings, he's given up runs.
Yes.
He is doing what we've all been afraid is going to happen, and it's happening right now.
I mean, that home run he gave up in the top of the 9th last night, kind of grooved.
Dude, that was what was. I don't know what the speed was on that, but that was what I talk about as a closer. He throws mid-90s, low 90s right down the middle, and early in the season, guys were missing it.
Yeah,
they ain't missing it right now, Dale. They're sitting on it and phew. But no, Seawald's a problem now. There's no doubt about it. It's the other side of it that if you look at it, and I'm rooting for Seawald. I've told you guys that. He's proven he deserves the chance. He's proven he needs to be out there. 4 of 6 outings, closers go through slumps too. Unless your name's Mac Miller or Chapman, when it is at prime and stuff like that. Most closers go through slumps at times. The problem he's got, though, he starts blowing leads and they lose. The nice thing about last night, though, was they got the win.
Right.
So you can kind of sweep it under the rug a little bit. But he starts going out there and blowing saves, and they start losing 3, 4, 5 games because he blows the ninth inning and they're not able to win those games. It's going to be a worse feeling about him because we went through this with him already. If Torrey keeps throwing him out there and stuff to that effect. He is more than while watching him. Now it's almost like when he goes in there now, it's going to be holding your breath.
Yes.
Because of 4 and 6 giving up runs, blown saves, all of that. So they got that side of it. The other side of it is, I'll say a little, I guess, a positive thing here. I've said all along, last week Bruce Cooper was like, we're going to see Zach Gallen again. I'm like, you're not seeing Zach Gallen again. Like, his injury is going to last the rest of the season. You might see him like late September if they're out of it. You might see him come back up and get a chance. But I think Zach Gallen's days of pitching for the Diamondbacks are done. And they're also proving it. You got Cabrera, who they haven't even called back up yet to starting pitch. Last night you had Britt pitching. He pitched well, or 2 nights ago. Last night you had this young kid up there. Dude, just bring up young kids that haven't been seen on film as your fifth starter here with Soroka coming back soon. And give them an opportunity. So far, they've proven they can do well. I'd rather see that than a Zach Gallen experience moving forward. These young kids are reinforcing we don't need to see Zach Gallen anymore, is what I'm getting at, with the way that they're pitching up here. I like it.
Well, what's interesting, again, you score 6 runs last night. You do get the win. Obviously, you are on concern watch as you watch this thing unfold.
His ERA, by the way, is 4.95 now.
Yeah.
You cannot have a 4.95 ERA as a closer, folks. You want to see a sub-2, sub-1.
And then you add to that, again, it seemed like it might have disappeared, or maybe because they were winning some games, we kind of forgot about it. But you look at their runner in scoring position stats.
I've been watching it.
3 of 11 last night.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
3 of 11. Now, again, they came through at the end when they needed to and got the win. But still, you continue to go 3 of 11. That's going to catch up with you.
Well, and that's what we've experienced. Absolutely. And eventually, look, I mean, the A's took this into 10 innings, and they were 3 for 6. 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position.
Right.
So the Diamondbacks are playing what runners in scoring position when you're 3 for 11. That tells you guys are getting on base, getting to second at least, and you're not able to do timely hitting to get them home. But you're not getting any other hits either. Whereas the A's weren't getting guys on runners in scoring position, but they were scoring runs, specifically in the 9th inning, and stuff like that. And that's the alarming thing. It's like, we'll see where we go. So, I mean, it's not all bad on the Diamondbacks, but we're starting to see cracks that we didn't see before. Because I believe wholeheartedly, and we saw it 2 years ago with Sewald on that 23 on that World Series run. We saw it with him then. Your closer, I put the blame on Torrey for the Pavin Smith and Zach Gallen. I believe in that locker room, this team was tight with those guys in the lineup because they knew they weren't going to do anything. So it's kind of like, not that you go out there and go, we're going to lose today. Let's just half-ass it. You don't necessarily do that, but you also know you're at a disadvantage on those days, and that can affect you. And I think the proof is that it was the fact they're playing better since they're gone. Your closer starts blowing saves, even if you win them, that's eventually going to ruin that locker room. We worked our butts off for 8.5 innings. 8 innings, 8.5 innings. We gave you a 2-run lead. You go out there and you blew it? Again? That's going to take a toll on you. And
yes.
It's akin to a place kicker. Your whole game, you're dominating. You get down there, you're down by 1, and you just kick a field goal to win it. And you work down there, and you got a 20-yard chip shot. And your guy shanks it. It's going to ruin locker rooms, man.
I'm going to tell you a kid that I hadn't heard of, didn't realize he went to Grand Canyon. I'm going to watch a little bit more this season.
Yeah.
That's that Jacob Wilson for the Oakland Athletics.
Yeah. No, he's been fantastic. The Oakland Athletics have young kids on this team that are just amazing.
Yes.
They're setting up. They're going to be good when they get to Vegas, man. If they pay him and keep him, that owner. Second-generation wealth there with that owner, and he seems to be a little bit of a weasel out there and his spending abilities and stuff like that. But yeah, no, yeah, he's a Grand Canyon. Just drafted last year.
This is his second year in the big
Yeah,
league.
so it was last year he was drafted. Yeah. No, the A's to me are a fun team to watch as a young group of guys and stuff like that. So another game tonight. Merrill Kelly's on the mound tonight, which I found
afternoon.
Oh, this afternoon. Sorry, it's a day game.
Yeah,
I didn't even know. 12:40. I should probably pay attention.
Yeah, it's at 12:40 because remember now they have a 4-city.
Oh, that's right. This is that
trip.
St. Louis tomorrow, right?
For one game,
yeah.
And then they go on to 3 different.
That's
cities.
this time frame that's here, huh?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's gonna be brutal. And they got don't they have the Red Sox on this series? And the Red Sox are the hottest team in baseball.
Wow,
right now.
have you seen that?
They're 14. I don't know what they did last night, but going into yesterday, they had a 14-game winning streak, hottest team in baseball since June 25th. And I think this is the series where they have the Red Sox? I don't have the schedule in front of me here, so it might not be that. But some of the teams you were looking at, because I went through the schedule when you were off, Dale. I mean, they have the Dodgers a couple times. They have the Nationals are on this run. I don't think the Red Sox are on this track. They have the Yankees coming into town coming up. And I was like, man, they have a very mediocre, they have teams that they're good as or better than on the standings and stuff on their schedule for the rest of the year, except for the Yankees and the Dodgers and stuff. They have very favorable. And then you look at it and go, oh, crap, man, the Red Sox are really good now. So, yeah, that is a good team, as a better team and stuff to that effect. It's
So they go to St. Louis, then they have 3 against Washington, they have 3 against Pittsburgh, and they have 3 against Cleveland.
Yeah, that's that stretch. Okay, the next road trip is the Red Sox one then.
And then they come home for looks like 10, 12 games.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the Red Sox cool down by the time they get on that trend.
When do they play the Red Sox? You keep saying. Oh, yeah, they don't play the Red Sox till middle of August 18th.
Okay, so we have time for the Red Sox to go down. I thought, for some reason, I was thinking this was the stretch they do that trend on as well. But yeah, there you go. Fill up the National League wild card standings.
I was going to say, are you gonna mention the playoff started today?
Well, they'll still be outside of it. They're tied with the Pirates, and the Pirates have the tiebreaker apparently.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. So Pirates would be in, Diamondbacks would be out. Wouldn't that be just a Tory thing? A Tory Diamondbacks team tie and they lose the tiebreaker, miss out on the playoffs if it started today. I told you I anticipate the Marlins, the Cardinals. You got the Nationals on this trend. Nationals are going to just stay around 500, but you can put them a little bit farther behind you with this next, this road trip coming up. Padres might go on a run, but they're not going to go on this huge run where they're going to be 30 games over 500 or anything. But other than that, I think the Cardinals, Marlins, Nationals, they're going to either stay where they're at or be worse in the second half of the season. I would anticipate the Pirates are probably going to be an in-and-out type of a team. You have a real chance here.
Yeah.
If you get a first baseman and a left-handed bat here in this trading deadline, and you figure out your close. Now, J-Mart, he's going to be back here soon. He's did a simulator game, and now I guess next week I was reading he's doing this week he's doing another simulated game. He's going to be back here sometime in August. He could slide into that closer role maybe if there's problems there. But you got to figure those two things out. But isn't that amazing though, Dale? We were talking before that Dodgers series, before the All-Star break, of this team's a 500 team, and that's not going to be good enough. They make those two roster moves, sweep the Dodgers. You go into the All-Star break with nothing but just hope. You had hope. Now coming out of the All-Star break, this team has you believing they got a shot to make it now.
Well, can you imagine being a resident of San Diego and being a Padres fan with that payroll and those players?
It's even worse than that. Like this is how downtrodden the Padres are. Yeah, they're just not hitting either. Machado's not hitting.
Right.
Big paychecks. But then did you read? They announced a new ownership group that's taking over the Padres and buying them. And last week, Manfred said, that announcement was a little premature. He doesn't have his financing lined up. What? So they might not even have new ownership yet to deal with stuff. Because if you're selling the team, you're not bumping a lot of money into that team. If anything, you're going to unload some guys.
Right. You have to trade them.
Yeah, because you want to lower payroll as you're unloading it because you know you're unloading it soon. So yeah, the Padres are a big question mark with all of that, and you'd be depressed today if you're them.
And I saw a little blip. I didn't look into it. I don't know if you saw that, but the owner of the Dodgers
Yeah,
owners
I retweeted that out the other day.
are under investigation for something.
Yeah, they own the
not
Sparks,
good.
the Lakers, and the Dodgers. That guy, and he's insurance companies is what he runs.
Oh,
Yeah, and the federal government has launched investigations against all three of his companies and a company he's got a majority interest in. Folks, I'm not saying he's doing something devious. He's a billionaire. He can wipe me off the face of this planet by suing me. I get it. I'm not saying anything devious. What I will say, though, is, Dale, if the federal government, the Department of Justice, launches an investigation against you, they have some pretty damning evidence to even go into because they're not going to waste their time with something they'll
if
lose.
it makes it public, especially.
Yeah. They have some pretty damning evidence. Now, it could just be fines and things like that. But then you run into that whole side of, millions of dollars in fines then it comes into that side of clauses as ownership, negativity on the league. You're making the league look bad,
Right.
type of things. And he's going to be distracted for a little bit, is what my bigger point here is. And I'll even go so far to say if you're being devious on your insurance side, you can't tell me you're on the up and up on your other business dealings as well. He's not just doing that with one company if he's doing something, if you catch my drift. What's he skirting on the other stuff as well? You don't just do it once, Dale. My lessons to you all out there. You don't just do it one time. When we come back, second hour main event, we got football talk galore.
LeBron going to Miami.
That's what I want to talk about as well. Well,
a little premature.
LeBron's going to Miami. I'll tell you why I believe so. You can say it's a mistake all you want, and we're prepping for it, Dale. I know a little something about broadcasting to YouTube. How much prep do you need? Come on back, folks. The main event. And we're back here having some fun. The second hour main event is here. Of course, I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and of course, 17-year NFL veteran. Folks, believe it or not, he's had a pretty successful football career in his life. Saguaro High School, slack there, no championships there or anything, but he set the stage for those multiple year championships there. Goes to SMU and has one of the, if the winningest, not the one of the winningest team of the early 90s. Of course, there with Dickerson and Craig James and Dale Hellestrae, all those studs. And then he goes to Buffalo. Suck there. Just no good. No good at all. Goes to the Raiders.
No
good there at the Raiders either. No good at the Raiders.
No. We sucked my first year.
That's right. You went to the AFC Championship.
And by the fourth year, we went to the AFC Championship.
That's right. Okay, you're right.
Yeah, come on now.
But you made the Hall of Famer defensive lineman. I just forgot his name.
For who?
For Buffalo. Bruce Smith. You made Bruce Smith who he is.
Yes.
Going up against him. You made Andre Reed better. You made Jim Kelly better because you were blocking for him. Thurman Thomas. You created holes for him. Then you go to the Raiders and, slack out. You're like, I'm tired of winning so much. So I'm just going to suck here at the Raiders.
A year off, so I'm going to bust my leg.
Yeah, so he does that. Gets traded to the Cowboys. 3 Super Bowls, folks. Goes to Baltimore late, retires, and so Baltimore calls and goes, help us go a playoff run, would you? Goes and helps them out and has success up there after a bad game. Then he has some good games after that. This guy's been all right, folks.
And then I come here, Steve said I'm trying to keep my head above water.
The best part about this story, Dale, is, and that cracks me up, is you did all of that in your life. Now look where you are, sitting next to me.
Dale, I need some help. I need some eye candy. Here
Dale's
I am.
I know all these famous people. I've lived a Jones life. Now you're just sitting here next to me. Nobody.
I'm with Big Steve.
Life comes at you fast, doesn't it? Oh, Lordy.
But what a small world. I know I met you, and I had known John, and both of you guys went to Dobson, and such a small world.
Oh, it's smaller than that if you think about you were out of radio, I believe, and then 1580 hired you, and then your favorite person, and my favorite
your
person,
buddy.
And everything, right? And then you guys hired a producer who I was doing a podcast with and helping him get into the radio business type of stuff.
Right.
And then he worked for you guys. And then that allowed me. And then the radio station hired a friend of ours, another person there, and then he kind of pushed me into, they needed a night person. So he kind of pushed me into talking to go Radio Run about that. And then I end up there and everything. And then I don't interact with you guys at all. Then I start interacting with you, looking for a partner. Some changes were coming, all of that stuff, and then boom, you leave. I end up leaving, on my own. You got pushed out because your partner was a dick, and everything, and boom, there we go. And then I come over to do this, and I just put that rope around your neck and said, "Let's go." Carrying you on my back.
I was still trying to recover from your bad language around my grandson. Poor little Graham Tate.
No, that's what I mean. That's just, and then like you said, John, you've known John for a while, and it's like, me and John didn't know who I was, obviously, but turns out we go to high school together. Now we're besties.
Yeah.
Now
you're texting him on the show.
I actually put at the beginning of that, I go, sorry to text. I don't know the email to the show.
Yeah.
Because I felt bad because they don't say it. So I was like, I'm not looking it up. I'm driving.
Right.
So my voice to text.
Yeah, I don't know because every once in a while I'll text them something stupid when they're talking about something stupid.
But I just figure if you're not going to look at, I look at my phone occasionally during the show when something comes in, but I don't. If he doesn't have it on, he doesn't have it on. I don't care. He didn't. I wasn't expecting him to even read it on. He didn't attribute my text to me because he said some personal stuff that he shouldn't have said on air. But I didn't expect him to read it. I was just telling him dude, they don't care. We'll talk about this next time I see you. Type of a thing. But I felt bad texting him. I'm in that relationship with him still. I don't like to bother the guy. Unlike Dale, he's just Dale willy-nilly.
I don't care. Don't act like you're big time.
No, but I do that to you too. I'm like, Dale's on vacation. I'm not texting him.
You didn't want to check in me and say how you doing? How's golf? How's the weather?
I assume you're having a good time.
Everybody get along?
I don't care. It's a family outing. I assume everybody's yelling at each other. I'm sure that I hate you. First, I hate you came out Monday afternoon.
Wow.
I have to spend a whole week with you. Let's just cancel this and go home. I assume that all happened.
I thought I had to get a text on Sunday. Hey, did you make it back safely? You plan on coming in tomorrow?
You were going to, but it was going to be at like 10:30 at night when I got around to it. No, Sunday was weird for me because my daughter went back to school. So we went to that 3-hour Odyssey movie. The World Cup final was on top of it. So I got caught up into that, my nap. And then getting my daughter ready for school and stuff like that. And the next thing I know, it was like 10:30 at night. I was like, oh my God, I gotta get ready for tomorrow. So Sunday got away from me. Don't be insulted. I'm a busy guy, Dale.
I know you are. Gotta get those naps in.
That's half of it right there. Last thing I want to say about baseball, by the way, follow us, YouTube, TME Media AZ. We're live 8 to 10 a.m. Every day on YouTube. And then, of course, catch us on demand as well. Pit Stop will be out later today. Look back at last weekend. Look ahead to this weekend in racing coming up. Real Matrix on Friday at noon as well. It's about, I'm going to say alien. It's not aliens, but it's about something I can't pronounce. The Trigerions or something to that effect. Yeah, Dale's looking at
What movie is this?
No, it's The Real Matrix on Friday, that episode.
Oh.
I gotta.
As soon as I take my headphones off,
I gotta figure out how to say this, but it has to do with like structures and things like that. It was a fascinating episode, but I can't say what it is. It's too big of a word. I'm a simple man from Dobson High School, getting yelled at about walking on grass. Coach Fultz. I just remembered his name. Coach Fultz is the one that yelled at me because I walked on that grass.
Well, you've named somebody else.
Oh,
already.
Coach Clark. Oh, the legend, Coach Clark. I've always blamed him. I kind of blame. He probably hired Fultz. So that's probably a good place to blame him. Blame him as well. You know what I mean? Just blame him right off the bat. I want to say something else about baseball. Bruce Cooper brought it up yesterday. It's funny, when Bruce brought it up yesterday, I watched that game the other night, and I don't remember. Like, it didn't strike me as something to remember. And then I looked into it, and I know why it didn't strike me as something to remember. The guy foul-balled the ball off of balls.
Off his privates.
And he went down.
Yeah.
But the reason why I didn't think it was more serious was because he ended up staying in the game, got a single, played the next half inning before they took him out of the game. So in my mind, it didn't register as something that you make a note of. And Bruce came in and talked about it yesterday. You guys had some fun with that at the top of the hour, or right before the top of the hour with Bruce and all that stuff. Then yesterday, you find out this kid goes in for emergency surgery yesterday on top of it. Emergency surgery over this. All I got to say is, and he's a rookie too. He just got called up.
Yeah.
All I got to say is this not the toughest SOB you've ever known? Like, I've known a lot of tough guys. Dale, you played football. You've known a lot of tough guys.
Yes.
This guy ruptured his whatever it's called.
Testicle.
Is that the technical term?
Yes.
He ruptured his testicle, got a single after that, stayed in the game for half of an inning, slept through the night. Well, probably didn't sleep very well. Got through the night, went through half of the day, emergency surgery to fix it yesterday. This guy, they should make movies about this guy's toughness. Is this not the toughest guy on the face of the planet right now?
Well, they could have him and Scott Radisack.
No pun intended.
that was his name. Had to have one remove after getting kicked.
But did he stay in the game for a little bit afterwards?
I don't think he did.
This kid hit a single, Dale, which means he had to run to first. I'm just saying. Sir, whatever you want in life, I'm more than happy to help you out with it.
That will be interesting. You said he's a rookie. If he ends up making it and he's in his year 10,
he's going to.
And something happens to him like this, is he really playing the next day? Is he finishing?
No, year 10. It's because he's the rookie.
Yeah.
He just got called up. He's talented.
Oh,
well,
no doubt.
My bigger question is, I'm showing up to the next game I play in. You'll be all healthy in it. I'm showing up with the biggest cup you've ever seen. It's going to be distracting on the TV. It's going to be so padded. It's not going to be funny. It's going to get in the way while I'm running in the outfield.
Well, and that's the thing. I've heard people talk about that. Do you wear cups in football? Do you wear cups when you play the field and base? No, because when you're running with them, they're a little bit uncomfortable. Yes, catcher, you're getting foul balls and this, that, and everything, but you're in a most of the time in a little crouch position behind home plate.
Yeah.
You don't need to run from center field to the fence and back. And
yeah. I know it's different, but like I equated, like the older I got playing soccer, to the point when I got to high school, you had to wear shin guards. But by the time I got to high school, I literally had like something. It wasn't protecting anything, but I had them because you had to wear them. And I just slipped them in my socks, And then every once in a while, you'd get kicked there, and it'd be the most pain you've ever had in your life. But didn't mean you'd fix it next time. You just kept wearing the same crap again. Like you never learn. This is different. I'm just curious. That's what I'm going to be curious on is did he learn his lesson? He's been playing that way for years. So it'd be hard to switch back to. But sometimes, it's like when you get hit in the head, and all of a sudden you're John Olerud and you're wearing a batting helmet at first base. That can change your opinion sometimes.
Yeah.
Right there as well.
And I think it's usually responding to something happening.
That's the problem. That's the problem, Dale. It's a response, a reaction to something.
And then it never happens again. Like
yes.
I remember my junior year in the summer, we were playing in the summer basketball league, and guy went up for a rebound, and I was just to the side of him, came down inadvertently. The point of his elbow caught one of these two, I think this front tooth, and shoved it up to the roof of my mouth. And I thought I lost it. I went, oh.
You're looking everywhere for it.
I felt it like, oh, damn. And I lost my freaking tooth. And then I realized it's stuck up in the roof of my mouth.
Oh, I just got spine tingling.
And I chewed gum, and when I played basketball, I took my gum, threw it towards the corner. I'm mad. I got to go to the orthodontist.
How did you know your tooth wasn't in the gum?
Because it was lodged up there. And so I go to the sidelines, and my coach is trying to pull it back out. And it is freaking lodged in there. So my mom was out of town. My dad had to make an appointment, and I go see an orthodontist, and they literally cinch my head into this chair, leaning back.
I'm going to throw up.
And he a pair of dental pliers.
That's what I'm saying. He used pliers.
And he just...
Did he?
And I could feel the tension. Yeah. He deadened me, but I could feel the tension on my neck.
Did he put his foot up like on a stool, like up on the wall to get pressed, to get power too? Okay. I don't get disgusted by stories like injury stories and stuff. Like I can watch gross things all day long. But that just made me feel uneasy, Dale. That story right there. So I'm sweating, folks.
He got it back in place. He goes, it's a 50-50 chance on whether it dies or not. Put a little guard on it. And for the rest of the time I played basketball, I wore a mouthpiece after that. Well, I never got hit in the mouth again like that.
Oh, my God. Like, I don't get disgusted about stuff, and that made me just
we should have a show where I could just go from my feet to my head, the injuries I've had.
Yeah, especially, for
like
sports.
The staples, the staples with no Novocaine, no nothing, rubbing alcohol, staples.
You just bite a piece of wood.
You don't got any whiskey on the sideline here, Coach?
Exactly. As for stories here, as I'm about ready to pass out, I don't get queasy. You found the one thing that makes me queasy, and it was all about pulling that tooth out. Because I was like, there's only one way to get that out, man.
Yeah. It was lodged in there, and after about 3 tries, my coach goes, I don't think it's coming. I go,
I'm going to throw up.
I don't think it is either.
So, welcome. Enjoy your breakfast, everybody. Ethan says, Dale's story reminds me of the 24 intersection and the rollover crashes. Meaning your accident there.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. They're bad out there on that 24.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, have you been you went to the airport.
I've been by there once or twice.
So it's just it's going to become a bigger freeway. But right now it's like it's an interstate where it's a freeway. You come off of US 60 or off of the 202. And so you're going 65, 80, whatever you're going. And then it drops down to like 55 or whatever. Yeah. And then there's lights. And people just run those lights, man. They're trying to beat it or whatever, so
Right.
they run it, and then if people pull out in the middle there, and then you just get
Wow.
an Indy 500 winner got killed a couple months ago, right? And I think his
Really?
motorcycle got taken out. Yeah, old, and they won it in like the early '90s, I think.
Wow.
Got taken out there and stuff like that. It's just people trying to beat. Now there's the cops everywhere, or, within a half-mile radius of the freeway and stuff like that. And things. So just your story there reminded Ethan of that. We get to see him all the time, Dale. We'll be driving, a road will be closed or whatever. Even Ann says, because she lives out there too, says, I agree, Ethan, 24 and Signal Butte is the worst intersection ever.
Really?
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, like I tell, because Ireland's learning to drive now, and I tell Ethan, I'm like, that light turns green. You sit there and you look both directions before you start moving and make sure those guys are stopping, and stuff like that. Ethan says, the whole bottom of the Cardinals tickets bowl is going to be premium seats at some point. Yeah, that's what he wants to do because he keeps all that revenue and everything as well. I talked about the nachos we get there and stuff. Ethan will get chicken fingers with fries, garlic fries for $30 or something ridiculous like that, and everything.
The most expensive thing on the menu, right?
It's not, but it's close. Robert says the chocolate chip cookie with sea salt at the top at the Cardinals game is to die for. That's the cookie I'm talking about. We get the nachos, and then I'll just grab one of those cookies. Freshly made, Dale. Freshly made cookies, those big ones, and they got sea salt. They're fantastic.
Fantastic. Oh, look at you.
After the nachos. That's all I spend there. Other than that, nothing. I'm not coming to a game and spending $700 on food and drinks. I'm just not. I don't need your $70 mixed drink. Before it used to be free for me with the cards, but Michael Bidwell. Can't have people having.
Hey, we're going to raise your price, or we're going to take away your perks.
Oh, raise the price and take away the perks is what they do there as well. Ann says, I can't handle Seawald coming in with less than a 4-1 lead. He needs to move to more of a setup guy. He seems to get the first out and then makes the game closer than it should be. He's always done that, though. Even when he's had success this year, he'll get a guy on or two. But that's also my second problem with it, is what he's capable of doing. You got to have somebody ready to go so when he does falter. He'll get 2 guys on or whatever, give up a run, and then have a guy on, and then they'll have nobody warming up or anything. And it's just like, all right, they're riding with him till he blows it. And that's where I get frustrated. You give up 2 runs and you only have a 2-run lead then? Somebody else should be coming in at that point, if there's less than 2 outs, for instance, type of a thing. But I don't know. Tori's smarter than all of us. He tells us all the time he is. Ethan says the D-backs need to also get rid of the coaching and management and get new guys in there. Ethan's been listening to his dad. Look at that. I agree 100%. Robert says 3 for 11 with runners in scoring positions, far better than it has been since the end of May. Yeah, it's still not good. Just because it's better doesn't mean it's good. What you're looking at. Most teams would kill to have 11. The A's had 6 last night. They would have killed to have 11 guys in running scoring position. Got to get them home. Robert says Wilson was the 6th pick in the draft a couple years ago. I knew it was a high-level one and everything, but 6 picks for the A's there as well. GCU there. Robert says don't sleep on the Padres. Machado and Tatis are starting to hit, and their bullpen's elite. Well, that's what I'm saying. The only team I'm not sure, we don't know what we're going to see from the Padres. But we could also see a sell-off here because current ownership, if that other guy's not buying it, they might want to unload some expenses there to save even more money before they sell it, type of a situation. I don't know if there's a deal involved there or anything. But that's why I say the Padres are the biggest unknown to me. They could go on a run. They're not going to end up 30 games above 500 in the second half of the season, but they're going to go on a run. They should go on a run as well out there, I think. I don't get this reference. He says he's going to walk in like the lead singer of Cameo. I'm assuming he's talking about the young kid that imagines you, sir, but I don't know the lead singer of Cameo walks. I can only imagine.
That's not on your Spotify?
No, none of that's no. Dale, an interesting thing happened yesterday.
Okay.
Don't forget, guys, join the YouTube chat as well with us here live. Something happened interesting yesterday. And it got more interesting today. Yesterday, if you didn't see, the Miami Heat put out and scheduled a LeBron James introduction press conference coming up in a few days, and they scheduled it on their YouTube page. People saw it. They quickly took it down, and they said we were just getting ready for the chance that LeBron James coming to the Miami Heat. We were prepping for it. That was their excuse. July 27th is when they scheduled it for. LeBron James introductory press conference is how they scheduled it there.
How quick did they take it down?
Pretty much immediately. People still saw it. Well, it was a little bit. It wasn't as quick as you would think. It was a little bit. And it was on the team's YouTube page. Here's the interesting thing about this. As somebody that knows a little bit about this, it takes 2 seconds to schedule something on YouTube. Dale, you right now can say, I want to do this thing. And I'll be like, when do you want to do it? And you go, I want to do it at 10:02. No problem. We could schedule it at 10:01 and have it ready to go for you.
Right.
It doesn't take long to do. They're putting it in for
22nd.
Yeah, they're putting it in for a reason. It's not to prep for it. That part of the prep takes zero time at all, folks. So, BSN. Here's the other thing. They did a posting this morning for a YouTube person for their team, a job posting. If that's an accident, you don't fire a YouTube guy and looking for a new one.
Right.
You do that when he puts out something that's about to happen. Because he let it go.
Really? Is that how you look at it?
That's how I look at it.
Boy, Steve, you and Dave Nash might be the two biggest conspiracy theorists.
He's more so than me.
I don't know.
He's more so than me.
You just stay mostly to sports.
Yeah.
But you can get conspiracy theory out of your mind.
Well, oh no, I can't. That's why I have an alter ego, conspiracy theory Steve out there. Look, Dale, it takes 2 seconds to throw up a YouTube thing and schedule it.
Yeah.
2 seconds. 5 days out, 6 days out, you're doing it to prep for it. It takes seconds to do. Even if you're testing it, what are you doing labeling it LeBron James introductory press conference? We do tests here all the time, and we do it like test. We go test. So if it does go out and we mess it up, then you guys will see test. Then you'll see it's a test.
Right.
I don't put, Jesus is coming on July 17th. Some big announcement. I don't put that out there. We just go test. So it's a bull crap excuse is what I'm getting at here. A YouTube person was putting it all together. They were getting everything ready, and somebody hit the wrong button and put it out there. So now they're trying to walk it back. Does this mean LeBron chooses another team because of the Miami Heat? Like, he's all ready to go to Miami. He's all ready to go. And then because Miami made the mistake, LeBron's mad that he couldn't talk. He couldn't announce it. So LeBron's like, well, I'm not going to Miami now since they announced it ahead of time. Did this cost him LeBron James? Because I just literally laid it out to you, folks. There's no reason to need a new YouTube person because of a mistake. You need a new YouTube person because he announced it ahead of time.
I think it's to me it's kind of fascinating. Obviously for the NBA, it's drawn a little attention to him. But
that's the thing. LeBron's even slow rolling this announcement, folks. He knows where he's going. But then his agent Paul came out and goes, "Oh, there's no rush to do this." But nobody's signing until LeBron James goes someplace. All the teams that are in the running for LeBron James, they're not making moves because they're waiting to hear from LeBron James. It's all about LeBron James right now. And they just announced his intentions, the Miami Heat did. I could see LeBron going, well, we're not going there now. Because you guys announced it. I need my spotlight. I'm going to do it my way, not you guys. It'll be fascinating to see here. But I'm fascinated by this story. When I saw the posting today, I went, oop. You don't fire somebody for a mistake.
You don't think you do
Not
you?
like that type of a mistake. But also just the excuse. What you do is you just say what they exactly said. A team spokesperson said The club's social media department was preparing for the possibility of James signing and accidentally posted the leak to the team's YouTube page. Again, that's a 3-second process to do, folks. Kobe and Ethan do that process about 3 minutes before showtime for our live feed. It's not something you need to do 6 days in advance. Now, you probably want to do it ahead of time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they just made a mistake on something they're prepping for. They're getting the band ready, They're getting the like last time, they're getting the fog machines and the lights. So you can walk
Not
around
one.
dancing. Yeah, you can walk
Not
around
two.
dancing. Maybe D. Wade will show up again. Chris Bosh.
I hope he just does just a quiet little...
Dale, it's LeBron James. He's doing something big. It's going to be, look at me is what it's going to be. But Miami Heat, I would go so far as to say the only reason he doesn't go to the Miami Heat would be because this got out and he's, LeBron James, he's got a little bit selfish. And he's going to change his mind because he didn't want it out that early. So he's going to get mad about that and be like, all right, I'm going to Cleveland then. Telling you, my conspiracy theory, Steve. If you if you wanna go that way, Dale. Telling you, LeBron James to the Heat, which I think is a monumental mistake for him to do. Monumental. That team's not winning. Here's what he's gonna do, Dale. I'm just gonna tell you right now.
Okay,
this
tell
is
me
what
what
LeBron's
you're
gonna
gonna
do. He's gonna sign with the team. He's gonna make the announcement, and in that announcement, he's gonna go, "This is my last year. Shower me with gifts. And also, I'm going to have a 23 patch on all of our jerseys, like I did in the Lakers." And he's going to announce he's going to make it all about him. And now it's his final year. That's what he's going to do. All at once. So brace yourself, folks.
I just get such a kick out of everybody getting so worked up over him. I mean, the guy, in my mind, deserves his flowers. He's played, what's this, his 32nd year?
23rd, because he had patches for, it said 22 last year.
Oh, I thought, didn't he wear 23? No?
Yeah. But, like halfway through the season last year, he made patches, and everybody on the Lakers team had to put a 22 patch on their jerseys. Dale, I get getting worked up about it and stuff like that. He's just, if you want to put it in football terms, he's got Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre in him, where they hold everything up to decide if they want to play football again this year.
I noticed
when you know they're going to.
I noticed great stories come out about Aaron Rodgers, and Steve doesn't bring that up.
There's no good stories about Aaron.
He's reconciling with his family, Steve. You didn't see that? Spent the summer, pictures hugging his mom, his dad.
Promotion.
Brother.
Promotion.
Yeah, for 20 years he didn't do that.
Because they need to. Now his career's ending. He's got to change that light now. He's got to go in the Hall of Fame. He's got to make him look better now. When he didn't need him, he didn't care about him, Dale. Now he's going to need him.
Why is he going to need him now?
Image-wise. He didn't care because he could just throw the football really far, and he didn't need him for that image. But now that he's retiring, he wants to go out as the good guy. Change my image now. Probably not even his real parents. It was probably like actors. Did anybody verify that it was his real parents? I did not see that story, actually, Dale. I did not see that.
Really?
I'm fascinated by that.
Yeah, summer of reconciling.
Maybe that wife that nobody has seen or anything. Maybe she's got something to do with it. And what I mean by she is, we're not even sure she exists. Nobody's seen her.
You're so cynical. How do you go through your day? Instead of tipping me your cap and going, "Way to grow up, Aaron. I'm happy for you. You seem happy. You lead the Steelers to the Super Bowl."
Robert's, hey, you want to make a bet on that? LeBron's going to milk this for a while. He needs to be the center of attention longer than most. That's what drives me nuts about it. It's not that hard. Make your decision, announce it, and we can all move on with our lives. But we've got to stretch this thing out. Ethan says, "Can I apply to that and leave you guys?" Ethan wants to join the Miami Heat YouTube page. Yeah, until you mess up and post something that is factual and your bosses don't like it and they fire you. Whereas we just have fun with the stuff that gets posted around here.
Well, and I don't know if he's in Miami Beach, that hoodie ain't gonna blend in.
Kids today, Dale, in those hoodies. My favorite is when we went to lunch with John and Dave and you, the Angry Patriot. And John goes, "What's with the Unabomber over there?"
Yeah.
Started laughing. Here he wears the hoodie and stuff because it's cold over there. Unlike us, who's showered by lights, it's cold in there. I'll get off air, walk to that editing room back there, and I'll be like, "What? It's an iceberg back here." Robert did chime in, tag me at TME Sports Show on the lead singer of Cameo. It makes me giggle. I had a feeling that's what you were talking about. Ugh. I'm done looking at people's junk. Yeah, let's take our break and talk Cardinals because we have to. I have tried to avoid this, folks.
Yeah. Hey, great start.
Jacoby watch.
Great. Jacoby watch. I say Adams watch.
He's showing up to camp today. He's already back in. He turned himself in on Sunday and back in Arizona, ready for camp.
Josh Sweat watch.
If you're a part of the team, do you have metal detectors when Adams comes in? Come on back, folks. The main event. And we're back here. Main event, having some fun here on this Wednesday, of course, and talk some NFL. Cardinals and Panthers, first two teams to report today. First practice is tomorrow for your Arizona Cardinals out there. And I say your because they're Phoenix's team and all of that, even if you don't like them. Well, just leave it to the Cardinals. We were just talking yesterday about the offseason, Jacoby Watch, back. And the future things for him. Are they going to sign him even, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? And then yesterday, I'm just casually sitting there. Me and Ethan go to Olive Garden after this and grab some cheap lunch there, their lunch menu. We grab some Olive Garden and get in the car, and I drive home and have the email sitting in my email when I get home. Isaiah Derek Adams, age 25, is charged with possession of firearm obtained by crime, possess restricted prohibited firearm, no license, and possess loaded firearm, and then possess prohibited device are the charges against Isaiah Derek Adams.
Who was he with?
His sister and a bunch of other people, and he did not get charged with the drug crimes like the other people did.
But he was with them.
Yes. And this is a guy that yesterday, if you watched the show with Coop, he was talking about Adams is probably going to win that right side guard job. Now, he's from Canada. They have tougher restrictions, gun charges up there. I tried to find out what this means in terms of like jail time or what the punishment could be. And
Right.
I couldn't really figure it out. Like, nobody really explained it. I couldn't find out what, because, here, oh, these charges could be up to 10 years in jail, or it could be like a $10,000 fine or 25 years in jail. And you're like, well, that's a big difference. I couldn't figure that out on these. But it's not the thing you want to be wrapped up into as you're reporting for training camp today.
The 3 days, 4 days before.
This happened over the weekend. Friday night is when the police figured it all out. He turned himself in on Sunday. And then was released. And now he's back in Arizona. He's reporting to camp today, Dale. What happened to no linemen do anything wrong? We're protectors.
No.
What happened to that conversation?
No. What I've said is offensive lineman, you tell the next one that gets arrested for domestic violence.
Yeah, just the Rams one.
There's still some dumbasses out there. What on earth is he doing a week before camp getting messed up with guys?
He can argue anytime because he makes enough money.
Yes. Just buy a new gun. Whatever it is.
Well, that's his problem. He had too many of them, Dale. They weren't registered.
Well, and secondly, what? I know you're from Canada.
Yeah, he's Canadian.
That doesn't mean you have to go back there.
That's issue number 2. His sister got charged with the same thing he did.
And?
So, well, along with the other people with the fentanyl and stuff.
Yeah.
But him and his sister got charged. Hey, runs in the family, man. Families that do crime together, stay together. Just outside of Toronto, if you want to know where in Canada he's from and stuff like that. Now, that's what I'm saying. In America, you see those charges, and you go, all right, it's a Thursday. It's somebody walking around with an unregistered handgun. Canada's different. That's why I was trying to figure out, like, what the possible repercussions of this could be. But it's just another distraction. Yeah, the gambling thing last week. Just another, the Jacoby Brissett situation going into what are we going to learn today, man? What are we going to learn today?
Well, that's the thing. Usually the last couple of days before camp, if you have a holdout, sometimes there's last-minute negotiations, things like that. But number one, whenever this case gets settled, there's going to be a suspension from the NFL.
It's possible.
Even if he's found not guilty, they'll suspend him for a couple days for tarnishing the shield.
Yeah, exactly. But then they'll be like, you know what? You play for the Cardinals. That's tarnishing the shield enough.
Wow. But you got the team. You look up in Seattle, defending Super Bowl champions.
Yep.
There's nothing.
Nothing happened in the offseason that I saw.
You look at the Rams. Nothing but good things.
Oh, Sean McVay's out there. Did you see my post where he's breaking down how a successful running game, what all the things that have to happen for a successful running play?
Yeah.
I mean, that was just fascinating to watch from a genius coaches. Because I know how running games work. You know how running games work. But he's literally like, this guy's got to lift his left foot and put it down because it signals this guy over here what he's. And I'm just like, all this is happening at full speed?
Huh?
It's fascinating.
You don't realize how smart offensive linemen have to be, Steve. And then, God forbid, a defensive lineman goes from a 3 technique to a 2.
He covers all that
technique. Now that changes everything.
Even went to the point where the hole opened up and the running back hit it. Then he goes and he focuses on what the receivers are doing to keep the play alive and allow him to get some more yards. I mean, it was I retweeted it yesterday on my personal page. I mean, it is just fascinating to see that breakdown because I watched 11, all 11 film. I watch a lot of people that break down. Nobody broke it down like Sean McVay did yesterday. And I was just sitting there watching it like, what? Rewinding it, listening to it again.
Well, the only way you can watch offensive line play is from the end zone view.
Yes, and I like the all 11 because you can see the holes. Because like when I'm at the stadium or on TV, I'll be like, oh, I didn't hit that hole, and then I'll watch the all 11. I'll be like, oh, there was no hole there. that dude was plugging it. It is amazing to see, but
so no controversy in LA, San Francisco. I guess you could say
there is, but it's on the field stuff.
You think the wide receiver? They haven't traded the wide receiver yet. Or cut him or whatever they're going to do.
Stuck. He's stuck there. He's not going to get paid.
And then you got the team that finished in last place, 9 games out of third place. 9 games, folks. Not baseball, where there's 162 games. Not even basketball where there's 82 games.
Mm-hmm. Well, they have such a rosy outlook
Football, 17 games, and you finished not 9 games out of first, not 9 games out of second, 9 games out of third place.
When you said that stat, that still makes me depressed. Thinking of it that way just makes me depressed.
That just makes you want to throw up. and yet they have the most question marks coming in training camp.
Yeah, but players don't hold out anymore. Which we're going to talk about Jacoby Brissett in a second. They don't hold out because it's costly. And I got the numbers for you here and stuff like that. But it's just. You're starting quarterback, man. I did some serious researching over the last couple days, and I saw some other people kind of steal my thunder today, which is fine. They're allowed to. They're media people as well. I saw a couple people post what the next starter is making from Jacoby Brissett right now. It's just like you look at it and you go, Cardinals, what are you arguing about? What are you arguing about? I'll present this for you. But the bigger thing here is, yes. I don't know how to phrase it. It's a big deal that he's dealing with these charges. I just don't know how big of a deal it is. If that makes sense. Because there's aggressive speeding, and getting arrested for, driving 100 in a 55. There's that, which is dangerous and stuff. But then there's gun charges, and stuff. So is he looking at 15 years felony, 15 years in prison? I don't think so, because he's reporting to camps. That tells me this isn't a serious charge. Because would they allow him to report today?
Well, obviously.
If it was a big deal.
Obviously, they know where he's going to be. That probably helps a little bit.
I'm just talking about the NFL in general. Like, if he killed somebody, he ain't reporting to camp today. Right. Even if he was bonded out. If he was driving drunk and killed somebody, he ain't going to practice today. Even if he's bonded out and going.
Right, tomorrow, but yeah.
Or tomorrow. You know what I'm saying.
Right.
It just tells me that these are probably serious charges, but they're not.
And no,
you're not going to play football charges.
It happened in Canada. So what are their rules up there?
They're a lot. They don't like guns.
Yeah. I think they're a little harsher
on
them.
Yeah. They're harsh on them. And that's the thing. I mean, we could be looking at it like maybe I'm looking at it. I don't know if I'm right or not. Okay. Gun charge. That happens all the time here. People walk around with unregistered guns all the time and get charges, and then they move on from them. But that's what I'm saying. The fact that he's reporting to camp, though, tells me I'm not belittling him and saying he should be doing it. But what I'm saying is this isn't where the NFL's looking at it going. He can't play football, guys. He can't be in camp.
Not yet.
We'll see. The day's not over.
Not yet.
Day's not over, Dale.
And again. What this does is so fascinating to me because there's still this little thing about Ryan Gold, the director of college scouting.
Mm-hmm. That's not going to die down. He's fighting that. That's not going to die down.
Right.
That's going to rear its ugly head. That's going to rear its ugly head in like October, November, again. Well, here's the other thing that on the Adams thing that tells me it's not one of those you can't play football deals. It's because a team, I think it was the Toronto CFL team. They put him on the able to negotiate list after the charges were announced. So if I don't think it's like I said, and I don't want to say it's not a big deal. I'm going to say it's not a you can't play football while you're going through these charges deal. And then a Canadian football team puts you on the you can negotiate him with them list after the charge. That also tells me, it's not an end of the world type. You can't play football type of charge. Because why would the Canadian football team go, oh, he's got serious charges. Let's put him on the we can negotiate him with them list. You know what I'm saying?
I still understand that. It's why and how come and why now.
Stupidity.
And again.
This guy is played in the NFL. He's got a chance to start this year.
Yeah.
It's just, what are you doing? Here's the stats for you if you don't know. He got in as a rookie because of some injuries. 11 games he started last season, the first 5, and then he played in the final 6 games as well as a rookie. He's a projected starter going into this season from that side. Now, Chase Basantis, he was drafted. He's going to compete for that right guard job. He's got to be feeling good about it today. He walked into camp with a little bit more pep to his step today as well. But I mean, this is a guy that's scheduled to start for the Cardinals, and that's where you're like, really? On the right side of the line, by the way, that is the question mark side of the line.
Right.
And now you go, man, are we going to have to go with a rookie because this guy's dealing with legal stuff constantly?
Well, and so that will be solved in time. You just wonder, okay, hey, court case gets called in October. Does he have to leave?
Well, here's the other side. He's four people involved, not him, but 4 people involved were actually held in prison for a bail hearing and stuff like that. He wasn't. And stuff. So just their case, is he going to have to go back there for their cases and things like that?
Right. A
Now,
lot of questions.
So that could be a distraction. When he's like, I got to fly to Canada on Tuesday and Wednesday, when the Cardinals are 13-2, Dale, week 15, and then they got to lose him for a week because he's got to go to Canada to do some trial stuff.
I'm sorry, I almost choked.
So that happened yesterday.
So you got Jacoby Brissett.
Hold on. I'm obligated to do it. Jacoby Watch.
Jacoby Watch, see what's going to happen there.
Well, you want some stats?
Well, you can tell me this, but then you got the Isaiah Adams, and then you got the Josh Sweat thing that I don't know if that's completely put to bed.
No, but he's going to show. He's going to show.
He's going to show up.
But is he going to participate? Is it going to be a hold in?
Yeah. Who knows? It's just question marks that should not have to be question marks. But tell me about because I'm always fascinated about how much you could lose.
Back in your day, I mean, you famously were part of a team where Emmitt Smith held out after a Super Bowl victory.
But he did not have a contract, so they couldn't fine him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was technically a free agent.
And nobody else was trying to sign him?
No. That was right at the precursor of free agency.
Oh, really? So this was what, 93, I remember? Right?
Yeah, it was after the 92
I just remember the Monday Night Football game. You guys were 0-1 and Jerry Jones at halftime. So they interviewed Emmitt, and then they went to Jerry Jones. And Jerry Jones was like, we're doing good without him. And then you guys got killed on Monday Night Football for the world to see. The running game was non-existent. And he was signed like Monday morning or Tuesday morning. He was signed. And I was like, that backfired. I remember that like it was yesterday. Yeah. That's one of my earliest recollections of the Cowboys at that time frame was that situation. Oh, I thought he was signed. Okay, so then it would be different. Yeah. But I was just going to say, fines back then, it didn't matter what they were because when you signed on the team, they gave you a bump to cover those fines.
Right.
You can't
or
do that
waived
anymore.
them or whatever.
Yeah. So Jacoby Brissett's scheduled to make $5.4 million this year total. $1.5 million is guaranteed. But I want to focus on the $5.4 million number because you can get into this with all the quarterbacks and stuff. The next lowest starter in the NFL, right? Meaning the guy that makes the least amount of the starting quarterbacks that's scheduled to start this year. It's Geno Smith. What do you think Geno Smith's going into this season to make? By the way, New York Jets. Another crappy franchise.
$20 million?
Yeah, close. $19.5 million. Like I said, it's going to be more with bonuses, stuff like that. I just want to focus on $5.4 to $19 million. Jacoby Brissett's making less than his backup, Gardner Minshew. So then you got to factor that in, too. $2 million less than his backup if he goes through this season and makes the 5.4. $2 million less than Gardner Minshew. $19.5 million. So what is that? That's roughly 14. I know we don't do math. 14 million less than the next starter on a bad team, folks, in the NFL, Geno Smith.
Well, and remember this, how much of Geno's is guaranteed?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm just focusing on the dollar amounts here. I can tell you Geno Smith's guarantee is not $5 million. It's more than that.
Right.
I just wanted to focus on the numbers. So you can understand Jacoby Brissett, who did move this offense up and down last year. Did they win games? No. A lot of that wasn't his fault. Yes, he had some games that he blew late. He had other games where he left the field with the lead and was not able to do it. But he moved that offense. He brought out Garrett Wilson as a starter. He made Trey look better last year than Kyler could ever do and stuff to that effect. And factor all of that in here. You got to be paying. What are you arguing about, Cardinals? What are you arguing about? Well, can't we just now? Could be Jacoby Brissett wants $20 million. I agree. 20 might be too high. But 12, 15? What are these two sides arguing about here?
Well, and I heard another thing brought up yesterday, and this does kind of make sense because you've heard it, I've heard it, of course, Jacoby's heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the Cardinals got to find out what this Beck kid's all about.
Yeah.
So if the Cardinals are coming to him and go, hey, we'll give you $1 million bonus for every game you start, so that'll get you into the low 20s.
Yeah.
But
you're going to be
might
benched.
only start 5.
Yeah, you're going to be benched.
Right. How's it going to be set up? Because if Jacoby Brissett's asking for between $15 and $20 million, give it to him.
You know this as well as anybody. I mean, Dale, you know this because of your contract here. Your contract's up to $1 million in bonuses.
Yeah, depending on how much advertising.
Yeah, but regardless of that, just you showing up is that. But I know you're not showing up a lot, so I know I'm not going to come anywhere near paying that. And if you were here a lot, I'd make excuses for you not to be on air. Oh, Dale, power's off the house. Don't come in tomorrow. Don't come in today.
We only got one working microphone.
You know as well as I do that they know what those numbers, bonus numbers are, and all of a sudden you're getting benched.
Yeah.
So they don't have to pay it. So I can understand that on his side. But is woefully underpaid. But I've said this before as well. This is my opinion. You overpay the guys that are going to take the hit for your ineptitude. Everybody's expecting the Cardinals to win 1 to 3 games this year. Jacoby Brissett's career is coming to an end, and you're asking him to take the ball and suck with this team. Pay the guy a little extra to do that. Again, it's not that hard.
Again, and we're talking about this like we started talking about this 3 months ago. We don't know what Jacoby's asking for.
That's the thing. But I'll tell you this right now.
If Jacoby's asking for 30, 35 million.
You want to know what I've heard through the grapevine?
Well, I would love to.
Now, I'm not announcing this. I've heard he's in the 15, 16 million.
Yeah, well, then that's a no-brainer. 1 year deal.
Why is he not signed?
Well, 1 year deal. Here's $15 million. We'll give you a chance to earn up to 20.
Well, that's the thing. Then you could do the bonus of these games you get. If you pay 10 games, you get this bonuses, whatever, so you can go up to 20. It's a no-brainer. If he's asking for 15 to me, what are we arguing about?
There should be no.
I'll be the first one to say it. If you're 20, 25, sorry, Jacoby. Enjoy sitting on the sideline. So here's the other side of it. He's scheduled for $5.4 million, only $1.5 guaranteed. Fine to not report to training camp, which is today. This would start. If he doesn't report today, $50,000 a day in the NFL is what the fine is now. And you don't get that back when you sign later. You lose that.
It's mandatory.
That's not a lot. Here's the other side that I looked up to make sure it was still in effect, and it reportedly is. If I'm wrong on this, I apologize, but I don't think I am. If you miss a preseason game, you get charged for every preseason game you miss. You miss a regular season game check. Cardinals have one extra preseason game this year, and it comes quick. First one's August 6th, Thursday. Next, 2 Thursdays from now. So 2 weeks from tomorrow. It comes quick. So add $50,000 for 2 weeks. Let's say 10 days just because they have an off day and stuff like that. So 50,000 times 10's Dale?
$500,000.
$500,000. It's going to be $287,000 or something to that effect if he misses a preseason game. He's up to his guaranteed money before that first preseason game, right at it at that point. Are you going to risk that? So it brings me to this question. Jacoby Brissett's going to report today. Is he going to be a hold-in? If he reports today, he's going to be a hold-in, right, till the deal's done?
Well, and that's the thing. That's one thing that we never had. I never had to deal with that in my playing career. But how much of a distraction is that?
That's going to be my next question. Jacoby Brissett would be stupid not to show up today.
Yes.
Absolutely stupid. Show up and you stand on the sideline like you did for the mandatory OTAs and everything. But that's going to lead to the distractions, right? Because now everybody's going to be shouting questions and wondering where he is and focusing on him and stuff to that effect. Maybe it's a sit-in, but your Cardinals go, hey, why don't you hang out in the locker room for a little? Go lift. Hop on that treadmill back there. So everybody's going to get video of Jacoby Brissett standing on the sideline holding the football, not doing anything.
And mind you, this is a 3-13 team.
That's going to be my next point.
And he's not responsible for all 11 losses he took last year because the offense did look much better under him. But this team is 3-13. If you're going to balk when you have 40, 50, 60 million dollars under the cap, and you're going to balk at giving this guy $10 million more,
you could pay Jacoby Brissett $20 million, and it's not going to affect you for 1 year. It's not going to affect you at all. Other than the money going out. It's what are we arguing about? That's what I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. And we're going to eventually have him signed, or maybe we won't, but then we'll hear the numbers. I predict we're all going to sit here when he signs or they release him and we find out what the negotiating numbers are. I'm going to predict we're going to find out Cardinals are lowballing him. I just have a feeling it's coming. I have a bad feeling. If it was Jacoby Brissett asking for too much, we would hear the number. It would be floated out there already.
You would think the Cardinals would release that.
Your buddy Dalton would be on the phone texting to somebody going, hey, he's asking for 30. We ain't paying that. It's just, again,
that makes sense.
What are we doing to going into today? And there's question marks there. Nobody said he's going to be a hold-in. You'd be stupid. Maybe you don't show up today to kind of like put pressure on him a little bit. But the reports are, Ian Rappaport, they've been negotiating actively for the last several months. Is this that hard to put together? I get it. In the offseason, it's not a rush to sign.
Right.
I get it.
Deadlines usually make deals.
Yeah, today's that deadline day. This is fascinating, but I don't understand this at all. And if Jacoby Brissett is not in camp today or tomorrow, a $50,000 hit's probably not going to matter, especially if he gets a new deal. He can swallow that, right? But if he's not in there by tomorrow, dude, you're throwing away your money.
Oh, no. I'm thinking if I'm in his position and I'm asking for 15 to 20 and they're not even coming close to that.
That's the thing.
I'm holding in. I'm showing up. I'm saying, you know what? My right elbow's a little sore.
I think from Jacoby Brissett's standpoint, a hold-in for him is better than sitting at home and taking those fines.
Yeah.
For the Cardinals' perspective, I think it's worse because it's just going to keep those questions there. They're already going to be there because Jacoby, but then just everybody's going to see him standing on the sideline. And it's just going to make it worse, and the pressure is going to get on the Cardinals at that point. But Dale, this team sucks. It's going to be terrible this year. And this is what we're dealing with coming into this. These numbers are staggering.
It makes you appreciate the Diamondbacks, doesn't it? See.
Well, when they win, the Diamondbacks are fun. That's the difference. It's just staggering numbers here for Jacoby Brissett and what the Cardinals. Just what are we doing? Name another friend. Now I get it. They don't want to spend. Let's say it's $20 million just to make it a high number. Okay, the Cardinals don't want to spend $20 million because they know they're going to move to Beck at some point this year, and Minshew this year probably. It's 1 year. You got the space. This is just. It just goes to the whole perception. At some point, and Jerry Jones is good at this. Jerry Jones will. Like that CeeDee Lamb negotiation last year. He's going in the front of the podium and he's going, well, you could sign him today and he can get hurt tomorrow and saying right things, just stupid things to say into public on the negotiation. And then he signs him for the big deal. Like they're not even doing that. They're not even doing those types of negotiations.
Well, and I always remember the difference between Bidwell and Jerry Jones.
One's
the fact
smart.
That CeeDee Lamb obviously is a much bigger name than Jacoby Brissett. And every sports center's let off whoever's left there still with the star.
Well, it goes back to I don't even know who that guy's agent is. Remember that conversation? And you're just like, Jerry, what are you doing, you moron?
Right.
The Cardinals aren't even doing that. They're giving the perception. Now, I know some people are on the Cardinals side with Jacoby Brissett. I know a lot of people are. I was reading the comments yesterday on a bunch of stuff, and some friends that are on, hey, just cut Jacoby Brissett. We don't need him. Just cut him. Back's there. Let's just cut him. And I get that side of it. But again, what are you doing negotiating? The lowest paid starter in the league that's scheduled to start is $19.5 million base. So sign him for 12 with guaranteed money on the backside. Or with incentives on the backside. 15. Now, like I said, Jacoby's got to go along. It takes two to tango. We're going to find out. I just have this. The Cardinal side isn't leaking anything. And that tells me They're lowballing.
Yeah.
That's what that tells me.
I do. I will agree with you on that point.
Because how do you want to win this in public perception as well?
Because they were offering 20. I promise you that would be leaked about to some of these
We
guys.
would be hearing an actual number out there. The fact that we have heard zero number, like I said, I've heard from a couple people that they've been told the number is 15 million is what he's asking for. And if let's say the Cardinals are doing 12, what are you arguing about? 3 million? I don't want to spend other people's money. I hate people that do that. But in football terms, dude, that's a rounding error.
How much money did the NFL make last year?
Yeah, $14.5 billion.
Yeah. That's with a B.
That's what you're negotiating about?
Yeah.
Seriously? A couple million? Now, to you and me, that's a ton of money. Yeah. But to them, it's nothing. And they have this. It's not like they're going to go over the salary cap and have to cut somebody that they really want.
Right. Or restructure a contract.
Yeah, go through those headaches.
Yeah.
Welcome to football season, Dale.
It's going to be a doozy, Steve.
I was reading about the Panthers, man. They're just going into camp with nothing. They're just like, hey, we almost made the playoffs last year. We're going to have another good year. Like, they're all hopeful and everything, and we're over here going, we got gun charges in Canada.
Gambling scandal. Holdout quarterback. Defensive end or leading sack guy.
New coach who's going to be a player. He's going to be more Cliff Kingsbury than Jonathan Gannon. That worries me a little bit.
Well, we obviously have plenty of time to get it.
Season's just starting. Let's get it all out today. Dale, get out of here for this Wednesday.
Yeah.
We'll be back tomorrow, Thursday, 8 a.m., live on YouTube and everything as well. Come and join us. Of course, last week here, we're just Monday through Thursday this week. We'll, of course, be taking Friday off. We'll be back on Monday, and then next week, back to our 5-day schedule coming up as well and everything.
Wow.
Really quick here. Let me go back up here. Robert says, is someone terminally ill in the Rogers family? Because they're reconciling?
No.
I was saying, is mom sick or something? Dad sick or something? Papa Mike says, I sat in row 2 in the end zone to watch a Cardinals game. He goes, you really see the speed of the game and the size of the players on both sides? He goes, there's a real eye-opener. Yeah. People don't know how these guys hit, man. It is different than what you see on TV. Because, like, you'll see him and the guy will get knocked down. You'll be like, what a wuss. Get up. And then you're there. You're like, holy cow. How's that guy have an arm still? Robert says, I'm thinking he wasn't in Canada when he was charged. The border could have been an issue. No, I read he was back up there to turn himself in, if that was true. I did read that yesterday as well. There, Papa Mike said, Steven had to go there. Dale not showing up. Yeah, of course.
Goodbye.
Dale's missed
Papa
half the
Mike.
summer as well. Robert says 15 million. Have the costs of lifts gone up that much? Good old short joke there. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Have a great one. Go Cardinal camp. Whatever. Weighing and poking and prodding today, Dale. You can roll the credits whenever.